Welcome to episode 193 of Podketeers. This week the conversation just kept on flowing. I think we fade in on the tail end of our conversation about Vero. It's kind of a new social network that is trying to position itself to compete with Instagram. We included some information in the blog post for the episode, which you can check out at podketeers.com/193. You'll also find our Vero profile name, so if you're using the service, please head on over and connect with us and say hello. We also talk about the Paint the Night dining packages and whether or not we think they're a good deal, and the seating arrangements for the parade at DCA. Also, we thought that it would be fun to hold our own version of March Magic. We're calling it Podketeers March Mayhem, where we will also set up 16 attractions from the Disneyland Resort, and they will compete daily for resort supremacy. The blog post has a little bit of information on what we're going to be doing for this. So again, check that out, podketeers.com/193. But we're going to be posting more information on our social media accounts like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Vero. So make sure that you check out those posts as well. Plus, at the end of the whole thing, whatever attraction wins, we're going to be giving away some kind of prize that's related to the attraction that wins. So make sure to vote for your favorite daily. We're going to be starting on March 5th, 2018. So again, keep an eye out on our social media networks for more information. The last couple of weeks, Black Panther has been generating all sorts of buzz, and believe it or not, I saw it at the theater. I know. It's not even at the Red Box yet, and I've already seen it. It was an amazing film that I would love to watch again. Now, during the episode, we did try to talk about the film as spoiler-free as possible for those of you that have not seen it yet, but we just kept on talking about it in a very spoilerific way for I want to say like 35 to 40 minutes. And so what we decided is we are going to post that as exclusive content for the FGP Squad on our Patreon page. If you're asking yourself, what is the FGP Squad? Well, the FGP Squad are listeners just like you, but we like to call those listeners our Fairy Godparents, FGP. Their support helps making these episodes possible, and if you would like to become a member of the FGP Squad, you can do so for as little as $1 a month by going to podketeers.com/FGP. There you will find more information and a link to sign up. Plus, if you sign up for a contribution of at least $5 per month, you will also get the exclusive Fairy Godparent button as a thank you for your support. And to all of our current Fairy Godparents, a quick shout out to all of you. Thank you all for your support. Do you shop on Amazon? Because if you do, the next time that you need to buy something, please consider going to podketeers.com/Amazon before your next purchase. Going to our page and clicking on the big Amazon button will take you to Amazon's page with our special referral link. And anything that you buy during that trip may earn us a small commission from your purchase as a thank you from you and from Amazon. It's a great way to help support the podcast with only a few extra clicks. To everyone that's taken the time to go through our page, thank you very much for your support. Online, you can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and on Facebook. Just search for Podketeers. We would love it if you took a moment to go and, subscribe and like and follow us on all of the social networks. Also, make sure to check out the Who We Are section of the website. It's in the About menu in the upper right-hand corner. There you'll find some bios for all of the team members and all of our personal social links. Oh, also before we go into the episode, we did have a little bit of a problem with AJ's microphone during the recording of this episode. So for the most part, anytime you hear her talk, you're going to be hearing her through VJ's microphone. So she's going to sound just a little farther away than if she was just right in front of her own mic. I tried to do my best to fix it. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but hashtag thanks, Heyzen. So, it is what it is. We weren't going to go back and record the entire episode again. especially considering that AJ and VJ are currently in Aulani. So we just went with it. So sorry about that in advance, but here we go. This is episode 193 of Podketeers. This is our podcast. We're a group of friends that loves Disney, technology, art, food, and more. This is Podketeers.
Yeah, Instagram, we had to log out, then log back in for a different one out of the 5 accounts we had. But I do like the fact that Vero, when you're looking at your timeline, they actually address these issues. They were like, I remember reading today that my like button wasn't working, or every time I liked a picture, it wouldn't show up. So when I was scrolling through the feed, Vero actually said, oh, hey, we noticed that people were complaining that their likes weren't showing up. We fixed it. We think that, is resolved. So let us know if
that's good.
You see something else. So that's cool that they're actually they're all hands on deck, basically trying to make this thing happen, Yeah.
I picture all of their servers are just smoking right now.
I know, right?
Well, they had to address an issue where their servers were getting slammed with people signing up about 3 or 4 days ago from the time that we're recording this. Because that's really kind of, when you guys sent us the text message, that's kind of when the explosion happened, and all of a sudden they got slammed with a bunch of people signing up. It's probably because somebody highlighted it in some kind of article or something. But I think it's a promising service. We're all on there, and like you guys said, if it continues on the same trend that it's been on, it does have the potential to just knock out Instagram the way that Instagram knocked out Snapchat and Vine and all these other services. So
Word.
Follow us on Vero. Ironically, go to our Instagram stories highlight to see what our Vero accounts are.
That's what it's going to be for a while, man.
Yeah.
Find me on Vero through Instagram.
Me and my 4 followers, we got this.
Me and my 9 connections.
That's right.
Ooh.
Wow, look at you. Almost in double digits.
Yeah, it's so funny. They're like, connections 42, following 8. 47 followers. I'm like, I swear I'm following more people.
Yeah.
But
maybe we just connected with more and not actually followed them. See?
yeah.
We'll figure it out soon.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Hey, so before we continue, quick question. Have you guys heard if March Magic is happening this year?
No, I haven't heard anything.
I haven't seen any
anything.
post. I mean, granted, last year they literally posted it like the day before it started. So who's to say that it's not going to happen again, right? But normally there's like teases and there's like reminders, but I haven't seen anything. And at this point, we're like 4 days away from March, 5 days away or something like that?
Yeah, usually we hear like hype behind it, and it's just been dwindling down. So who knows?
So, I mean, look, let's talk to the basketball guys here. You guys are experienced with running these what are they called? Tables of peoples and brackets of plenty, or what are they called?
Brackets?
Look,
bracket
you know
challenges?
me and the sports, right? So I don't know. But I do know that I like March Magic. And I like the fact that they give all these like attractions their own team names, and they're very creative with them, or some of them. And they all have like nice logos and stuff. If Disneyland does theirs or not, regardless if they do theirs, I think we should do our version of March Magic.
Yes, please.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
So
I'm
what would
totally
we call
down.
it?
I think we should call it Podketeers March Mayhem.
I'm so in.
I love
Let's
it.
do this.
Down.
So they're all attractions, right? They're never parades. They're never anything else.
Pretty much. I think like Phantasmic was one year.
Yeah.
And I think World of Color might have been, but I think we should just do attractions personally.
Disneyland only?
No.
No, Disneyland
Resort.
So DCA and Disneyland.
Yes.
I mean, like, not Walt Disney World.
No.
Yeah, it gets too
Hometown.
big at that point. There's too
Oh,
many.
you just shot
Sorry.
AJ's dreams of doing anything Epcot. Well, so I'll tell you what. So depending on how this one goes,
We could do the Walt Disney World Olympics.
so depending on how this one goes, maybe next time we'll do one for each coast. How about that?
Oh, there you go.
All right. So,
Oh, she's
so
so
here's
sad.
I think so. Okay, so I think we should structure it the same way that Disneyland does, right? I think what they do is every day they voted for one particular matchup, and at the end of the next day they would announce who was advancing on the board of plenty or something. That's what it's called, right? So I think we should do the same thing. Look, sports. So I think what we'll do is we'll choose our attractions, and then we'll come up with our own snazzy, brackety board of plenty thing. And then I think the best way to come up with the matchups is literally at random, right? Like we should just put all the names that we decide on.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean, what is it called? Seeding? Like when you figure out like who will match up best, like.
So, like, are you okay with the fact that Pirates of the Caribbean and Haunted Mansion could be the very first matchup, and one of those is the very first attraction?
Look, when Pirates of the Caribbean is eliminated, you're the only one that's going to be crying. So,
dude, don't even, buddy, don't even.
Oh my gosh, I love voting for them because like it gets so intense, and you have all these people like rooting for this and using Twitter and Instagram and Facebook trying to like.
Vero.
And Vero now.
Okay, so I guess that's the other thing, right? I mean, how would we get people to vote? Because as far as I know, Instagram Stories is the only one that really has like a built-in voting tool with their either yes/no option or whatever, right?
Twitter's got the poll thing too.
Twitter
right?
has it.
Twitter has it.
Twitter does. Yeah, so we could do it on both. I think we can do something more graphic and visual on Instagram Stories. So I would prefer that, but I mean, because with Twitter, it's just a question, like a multiple choice question that you put up there. You can't make it like a fun graphic image like you can with Instagram Stories.
Get with the program, Twitter. What's wrong with you?
I know.
Jeez.
So is the poll going to be only the 24 hours
I think so.
for each?
I mean, we can put them as highlights and keep them longer, or we can do them as one day.
I don't know. I think we should go for one day. I think that's pretty fair, right?
Yeah. That way it keeps moving.
So I think what we can do is we can announce it. Obviously, we're announcing it now. I guess that we're working on it in this episode. But then we'll post it, you know, that it's coming. And then this episode is going to release on February 28th. How about we launch our, what'd you call it, Gavin? March Mayhem? Nice.
March Mayhem.
So we'll launch March Mayhem March 5th. That's a Monday. How about that? Okay, and so
good.
every day for like 24 hours, we'll just post something new, and then we'll have people vote either on Twitter or on Instagram via the stories feature, and then we'll just keep advancing. We'll just post an updated version of it's bracket, right? It's an official bracket. Okay, I want to get the lingo right. If we're doing this,
buddy.
I want to get the lingo right. Sports! Okay, so we'll update the bracket on a daily basis. And so now the only question is, when Haunted Mansion beats Pirates of the Caribbean, I'm kidding. The question is, what attractions do we want to put up there?
Let's go. Let's brainstorm.
So Haunted Mansion, start off with the best one, obviously.
Yeah.
Space Mountain.
Jungle Cruise.
Yes, Jungle Cruise. Classic.
Churro cart.
Churro cart versus popcorn cart. Which popcorn turner did it best?
I don't know. Gavin brought up a good point though. Like the seeding, like 1 through 8. I don't know. Like I think you might have to have like a top 4. At least a top 4.
Yeah, because you don't want them to be eliminating each other too early.
Yeah, you don't want a 1 versus 1 right off the bat, like he was saying.
Right. Right.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So instead of saying 1 and 1,
so in the sports world,
okay,
it would be the top.
Talk to me about the sports ball.
You should give it to him in like a Disney analogy.
Yeah, or like hot dogs and hamburgers.
you would have like your Fab Five.
Okay.
So would you put
Yes.
your Fab Five against each other right off the
I
bat?
mean,
or
look,
would you
it's
put Mickey
Thunderdome,
versus-
dude. Anything's possible in Thunderdome.
This isn't the Royal Rumble,
Look,
dude.
Yeah, it's not Royal
Look,
Rumble.
the first rule is to not talk about Fight Club, okay? And if you're talking about it, you deserve to be eliminated.
Well, why are you talking about it?
That's true.
Exactly.
Eliminated. Heyzen's out.
That's it.
I'll explain it to you after the show.
Well, no, I mean, I want.
I'll educate
Okay,
you.
that's fine. But can you give me just like the Cliff Notes version of it now, just so that I get what you're saying?
Yeah,
So basically-
you don't want to have Pirates versus Haunted Mansion right out of the gate. You want to have Haunted Mansion versus Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Basically, you want your E-ticket versus your A-ticket.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
there you go. That's
So
a better way to say it.
if we're
That's a
starting
better
off
way to
with
say it.
16, you basically spread out the top 4 in each corner. So
Yes.
that there's a
Exactly.
potential
You
of
got
them
it. Yes.
facing each other later during eliminations, but not like
You
in the
wanna-
first
Right.
round,
Yeah.
basically.
That's exactly how sports works.
Gotcha. Sports!
You have all these teams in
Melissa and I
different
get it, but Heyzen
areas,
is
and
just-
then they eventually play the best of the
Ah,
best.
check me out.
Right.
I'm all
Yes.
about the sports ball now. Woo!
Yeah. Yep.
I'm in. Where's the nachos?
No.
Okay, so all right, so great question then. What would you consider those top 4 then?
Space would be one.
I think Pirates and Mansion.
I would throw
Space.
Indy up there.
Well, here, why don't we
Sorry.
do this? There's 5 of us.
Indy.
We could. You guys vote as 1. We'll vote as 1, and then that'll be our 4 right there.
Oh, okay.
Pirates.
But the problem is
Pirates.
that I think Melissa and I are both going to vote for Mansion.
Okay, well then
Indy
I'll
would
have
be
one.
Oh,
She
Indy.
just said
Okay.
Indy.
next one. Indy would
Okay,
be
got
next for
it.
me.
So
Indie, Mansion, Pirates, Space.
what'd you guys call those? The
I
the
think
seeds?
that's a good top
What'd you
4.
call them? The top,
Top
4?
4.
Yeah.
All right. All right, I just typed them in. It's official, guys. This is happening. All right,
Yeah.
so our top 4: Space Mountain, Indiana Jones, Pirates of the Caribbean, and Haunted Mansion. Wait, why not Grizzly Peak? What's wrong with Grizzly Peak?
It's not going to make top 16.
You don't
Come
know
on.
that.
No,
It's
it's,
not usually
Watch.
always
You-
open.
You watch. You watch. When we get done with this list, it will not be in the top 16.
Okay, so here we go. So Splash Mountain, that's the next one.
So
Big
this is
Thunder.
the official Podketeers
Yes.
bracket, right?
Yes,
I
that's
don't
correct.
want our listeners to say, "Hey, Disney put."
Yeah.
No, no,
got
this
it.
is-
Actually,
No, actually, exactly. No, this is the official Podketeers March Mayhem? March Mayhem
Yes.
list o
Bracket.
plenty bracket o fun. Okay,
or
that
the
is
whole
There you go.
Disneyland Resort,
right.
including DCA, because I don't want somebody going, "Well, Racer should be top 4 easily."
Oh, Racer should be in there.
I tend to
No.
agree. I tend to agree, but
No.
Not top 4. But
No.
In the top.
No, I'm just saying Racer should be in
oh
there.
yeah,
Yeah, it's in it.
It's
Top
on the list.
10.
It's
I'm
on
just
the
saying,
list.
not top 4 for our bracket.
Right.
Gotcha.
So it's
Okay, so
included.
Star
okay, so we
Tours.
got we have Splash Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain, Matterhorn, Star Tours. Okay.
Mhm.
What about Small World? Would we throw Small World in there?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Okay, that's
classic.
classic. I
Okay,
want
I
to
was
throw
gonna
Mission
say-
Breakout in there.
Does
Yeah.
Small
Yes.
World
Mission
count for
Breakout.
both holiday and regular?
Nah, I'd say regular.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we say
Yeah.
Mansion, it's not both.
It's just
No,
mentioned.
it's just Mansion. Yeah,
It's
it's,
just
not Haunted
Mansion.
Mansion Holiday. It's Haunted Mansion.
Okay, because I was gonna say it's hyperspace and space and
Nah, you gotta
Ghost
choose.
Just
Galaxy
space.
No, it's
Okay.
got to be just space.
original.
Less
And then Pirates of the
complications.
Caribbean. Oh, that doesn't get an overlay. Sorry, buddy.
It's perfect year round. Peter Pan's got to make it. Soren has to make it.
Well, so are we doing just attractions though? We're not doing
Just
shows
attraction.
either.
No.
No
just
shows.
attraction.
Or food.
So no Mark Twain.
No food.
So
no
Mark
fried
Twain doesn't
chicken.
count? Can we do
Oh,
one
can
for
we?
food?
Yeah, we should do a
I think we should do a
an
food
April
one after.
bracket for food.
Yeah, an
Wait.
April.
What?
Yeah, let's do an April bracket for food.
Yeah.
Churro all the way.
Churro and Dole Whip is gonna be right there.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
That could be one of the...
That's
One of
the
the
top
4.
2. I'm calling it right
Yeah.
now.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Okay, so no Mark Twain then.
No Mark Twain. I think the last ones should be Midway Mania,
We had Soren, right?
and then there's 3 that I feel like are kind of tied. I have Little Mermaid, Alice in Wonderland, and the Disneyland Railroad. And I think all of those are ahead of Grizzly River Run.
Oh yeah.
I would say Alice over Grizzly.
Uh-huh.
Right, but
Alice
Alice
over
over Little
Grizzly?
Mermaid. I think
Yeah.
Alice
I
over
would
Little
think
Oh,
Mermaid.
yeah.
Alice over Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
And then Little Mermaid
Unless
or
Ursula's head is
Railroad.
coming off.
True.
Well, that's just
bad.
exciting. So we're going for 16, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No wild cards.
So, yeah, we have one spot left, and it's either Little
Don't
Mermaid.
confuse
Oh,
Okay,
no,
wait.
we don't.
Hold on. So what do we have here? So we have the top 4, Space Mountain, Mansion, Pirates, and Indie. And then we have Splash Mountain, Big Thunder, Matterhorn, and Star Tours. That's 8. And then we have Small World, Mission Breakout, Soarin', Peter Pan, Radiator Springs Racers, and Jungle Cruise.
Yes.
Right? Jungle Cruise? Okay.
Yes.
So then that leaves 2 spots open.
What? No, it doesn't.
That's 14 so far. Midway Mania. That was the other one.
Are you adding
Toy
this to our
Story.
live doc?
Yes.
Oh, I'm not seeing it.
Toy Story Midway Mania. Okay, so now we have 1 left.
Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh. Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin.
I mean, that does have a long wait.
Autopia.
Nah.
The People
Are you-
Mover.
Too soon.
I know.
Carousel.
Too soon.
That's sad.
I need at least 50 years.
It still burns. It still burns.
Because you can see it.
I know.
But
I
there's
know.
nothing there.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, so here's the list again. Ready? Space Mountain, Mansion, Pirates, Indiana Jones, Splash Mountain, Big Thunder, Matterhorn, Star Tours, Small World, Mission Breakout, Soarin', Peter Pan, Radiator Springs Racers, Jungle Cruise, Toy Story Midway Mania, and
Turtle Talk with Crush.
Turtle Talk with Crush. Got it. Monsters
I would say
Incorporated.
either Alice or Alice.
I thought we already
How
had
about
Alice.
Dumbo?
Wait, where
I
is
didn't.
Alice?
Well,
Alice is not on there.
Alice isn't on there. There's like, is that the number 16 spot then? Alice?
I gotta have
Well,
Alice.
Let's all choose something and then we'll discuss amongst ourselves.
King Arthur's Carousel.
Yeah,
No.
that's what I said earlier, but
I mean, it
So
does
are
have
we
Jingle.
just
Wait.
going to discuss it later then?
For me, it's Alice. I don't see anything.
Is there
beating
something that
Alice.
could beat Alice?
What about your Goofy Sky School?
Yeah, but that's not a.
It's
Who's
lame.
your
That's my
favorite?
favorite in DCA. I'm sorry, what'd you
Lame.
say? What'd you
It's
say?
lame. Hey, so let me throw this out there. Let me throw this out
Throw
there.
you out there.
Whoa!
You're gonna be like Goofy. Do they? Huh?
Oh, yup. The
That's awesome.
Everyman. So let me throw this out there. It is closed, but Incredicoaster?
No.
we haven't written it.
Okay, so then California Screamin'.
Yeah,
But
maybe
But
screaming.
it's closed.
There anymore.
Ugh. You guys are so
Yeah.
difficult.
Can't do that because then we would have to put Tower, and then that would be no.
No.
Okay.
I don't-
How about Junkyard Jamboree?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Luigi's?
Ah, the
Luigi's
flying
would be
tires.
good.
So we couldn't
Oh,
say
wait.
Dumbo then.
Flying Tires, the Rollickin' Roadsters.
How about Storybook Land Canal boats?
Oh, that one was cool. But I think Alice over that.
Nah,
one.
that was
Yeah.
boring. I would choose Alice over the Storybook Canal Boats thing.
I think we've chosen.
All
So
right, I
Alice,
guess we'll go with
not the Mark
Alice.
Twain
That's our
or
16.
Disneyland Railroad.
Well, I
Roger
like
Rabbit.
Disneyland Railroad.
Honestly, I would do the Railroad over Alice. Me personally. Because I just like the Railroad more.
I think it's so iconic that it probably should be on there. I kind of agree. I
so
hate
let's get rid of
cutting
Alice.
out. That hurts.
He's really
Oh.
pulling for Alice.
Okay, so Disneyland Railroad gets the final spot. Okay, so we should clarify again. I know we said this, but we should clarify. This is not Disney's. If they do March Magic, this is not Disney's board. This is the Podketeers March Mayhem.
Mayhem.
Yes, got it. March Mayhem Board of Plenty. And so we will draw
There's an
up this
attraction
cool little
cornucopia.
table graphic thing. Yes. Look, Autopia should have been on there, okay? Aren't there wild cards on these? Like, aren't there, like, other...
Not
Like-
in this bracket. You're
No?
making it too
Okay.
complicated.
I'm just saying. Maybe
Yeah.
we need to throw Autopia on there.
So
All
it's
right.
official.
So, like I said, we'll go ahead and we'll whip up a graphic for this, and we'll throw it up on the Instagram account, Twitter, Facebook, and on Vero. And that way you guys can help vote once voting begins on March 5th. And I think there should be some kind of payoff to this, guys. I think if we want people to vote, I think what we should do is whatever wins, like whatever attraction wins, I think we should find something that's connected to that attraction in the park, like a pin or something, and then give that away to somebody that voted.
I vote on press pennies. I got the 51 cents for you.
Something. I mean, I don't know, just something, right? that symbolizes that, because we're not going to come up with designs like Disney World did. I mean, we could, but not on this short notice. But I think it would be fun, right? Whatever attraction wins, we'll get something, and then we'll just give it away to one of our listeners.
Yeah.
I like it.
Sounds good.
I like it.
Sweet. All right, so let's move on.
Are you guys following Kermit now on Instagram?
I am following Kermit.
I'm waiting for his Vero account.
I know, I was going to say that.
He's verified on Instagram.
I'm not going to say there's preferential treatment there.
Mickey gave him a shout out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mickey said, hey,
Precious.
follow my
That's
green
the
friend.
best.
It's Kermit.
That's how I saw it. Is actually
Kermit.
Mickey's shout out.
All right, everybody, best Kermit impression, and go.
Hi, Hulk. This is Kermit the Frog.
Okay.
Wow, that was really good.
That's good. You win.
You
See, I just want that hand.
And you got the
movement.
flailing arms.
I could just do the civic
That was
one.
awesome.
Let's
Oh,
paint you green,
there you
Gavin.
go.
Okay. We can do it.
That was
So yeah, if you
awesome.
guys aren't following Kermit on Instagram, he set up his account, I don't know what, like a week ago now from the time that we're recording this. And he already has like 1 billion followers.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, that's how Kermit rolls. But that's
So, in
none of
fact,
our
it
business.
is easy being green.
I guess it is. So I don't know what he's complaining about. Wah, 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 Kermit.
We love you, Kermit.
So moving on. So we got a behind-the-scenes look at the making of the music for Together Forever. I am more excited about this now that I'm kind of seeing a little bit more of the visuals and some of the music coming together as they get ready to launch this new fireworks spectacular, Together Forever. When you guys saw the video...
You still sound like a Mexican.
Like horrible? I know. Hey, they have a Mexican
guy.
announcing.
The Spanish guy.
They have the Spanish guy.
He's
Yeah.
glorious.
You sound like him, but speaking English. If that makes any sense
That's
at
what
all.
he does. Hello. Hello.
Look out, Bill Rogers. Heyzen is coming for you.
In Espanol.
Only if I get to do it in Spanglish. Bienvenidos a Together Forever. Un espectacular de... How do they say fireworks in Spanish?
Boom. Good job. That was in time.
That was
That's
not
amazing.
Okay. Yeah. Bienvenidos a Together Forever. Tu show de boom. I'm sure that's not how they say it.
I don't want to know what fireworks are.
Fuegos artificiales.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes.
Fuegos artificiales.
Oh.
So it's bienvenidos a
fires.
Together Forever.
That's funny. I like
What
boom,
is it?
boom,
Damn it,
boom.
I forgot it already. I don't even know what the spiel is. But regardless, you guys took a look at that video, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What did you guys feel? Did you guys get all the feels listening to some of the music that's going into it?
I'm so pumped for it.
Yeah.
So
I'm
pumped.
just excited.
I'd be willing to fight the crowds on April 13th. But yeah, that music
think
was
so.
in that video.
They didn't give us a huge sneak peek, though. You know, they only hinted at, but we only heard Toy Story, right? Was that the only recognizable song that we could hear?
Well, the Pixar fanfare, I think, was the most recognizable, and then they had an orchestrated version of the Pixar one, or the Toy Story one. But that's really it.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot more than that, but I think they just talked about how the message behind the show is friendship, and that it has to do with all of the encounters and the friends that you meet, the adventures you go on, and the challenges that you face. It's basically, you know, the Randy Newman and Michael Giacchino hour.
Right.
I think that's what it's going to be, right?
Please have Ratatouille.
What if it was actually going to be an hour long? That would be so amazing.
I'm sure it won't be.
No,
Wow.
it's going
We'll
to
be
like
lucky if we get a good
8.5
20 minutes.
You think it's only gonna be 8.5? I want to say. I hope it's like 15 minutes long.
Oh, it's got to be 15.
I don't. What's the average length? What's the average length of the? I don't know, because they all seem to go by so fast when you watch them.
13,
Well,
14
remember-
is like average.
14.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Remember Dreams Come True was 16 minutes long.
Yeah.
So I would say it's going to be somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes. I think that's a pretty safe bet. Unless it's a windy day, then it'll probably be 5 minutes of projections on the castle.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
phenomenal.
Gosh, can we
With
just
projection.
knock on wood?
That would be horrible, right? On opening day.
Oh, yeah.
like-
Yeah.
No.
Due to high
Yeah.
winds.
Oh, there would be a riot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't want projections. Give me my fuegos artificiales. Yeah, looking forward to it. Debuts on April 13th. We're
Friday
hoping
the
to be there.
13th.
No, don't say that.
Oh, sorry.
Don't say that. now
No,
you're
it's
cursing
not
the
gonna
wind.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm not a superstitious person, but damn it, don't curse the wind on that day. Give me my fuegos artificiales. Also, this last week we got some pricing information for the Paint the Night dining packages. VJ, can you break down the pricing and whether or not this is actually going to be a good deal? Because I looked at it and my thought was like, what? They'd be crazy.
What's so crazy about $99? Well,
You know
I mean,
what? Right.
What do you get with that $99?
Well, I know you could do Carthay Circle and Wine Country Trattoria, but when we were talking about Carthay Circle, I thought it was a good deal just because it's a 4-course prefix meal, right? Which includes, I'm assuming 2 appetizers, entree, and dessert. But when we were talking about, we were having that discussion like, is that too much money? Besides, for $99, getting a 4-course meal at Carthay Circle when entrees could cost up to like $30 per an entree and then appetizers are like $15 each, as long as you're not getting the vegetarian option, I'm sure you're going to get your money's worth, right? Mm-hmm. And then you're going to get a reserved seating area for Paint the Night. I think that's a deal, and the only thing I have a question is, do we get an annual pass discount with it?
That is a good question.
Maybe.
I would think so. I would have to ask Lynette. I don't remember, but I think when we did the Phantasmic Dining package, I vaguely remember getting an AP discount for that. Honestly, I can't remember if we did. She would be the best person to ask. She would know. I want to lean towards yes, we did get it, though.
Mm-hmm. But even if you didn't get it, I think that's still a deal. Just because, me and AJ were foodies, so the food at Carthay Circle, you're getting food from Andrew Sutton's, recipes.
Yeah.
So that's a great meal. Just for $99, I think that's a deal. Because mostly when we go, we're already spending over $99 per person, and that's not even with a drink. That's only just an appetizer, a shared appetizer, our entrees, and 2 desserts.
At Carthay, though.
At Carthay.
An appetizer. VJ will not share if he's really into it.
Really?
Yeah,
On the
VJ.
podcast? Really? On the podcast?
Yeah, I want to go get cookie dough last night.
Oh, here we go.
Sidetrack. I want to get cookie dough, like the edible cookie dough.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, let's split one. And he's like, no, I don't want to split. Just get your own and you can eat it tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
VJ.
that wasn't
What do you
shared.
think this is? Coconut sticky rice with mango?
Yeah.
And it all comes back to the sticky rice with mango.
Which, by the
Have
way, AJ, now that you're on the podcast, we talked about it last episode. You weren't here, but I just want to, in front of everybody, say thank you for sharing your coconut sticky rice with me because
Yes.
it was fabu, as Yakko Warner would say.
You're welcome. It was really hard to share.
You
And
can see it
that's
in her
why I
face too. She was
appreciate
like,
it even more.
Yeah, it's okay. You can take a bite.
"Hurry, take a bite now! Hurry!"
There was
I
that
like
sense
it,
of
are you gonna
urgency.
give it back?
That was my favorite line. You better like it. If you don't, better give it back.
There was that sense of urgency when I was getting that bite to make sure that one, I liked it, and two, that I took it as quickly as possible before she changed her mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's very true. But yeah, sorry. Sidetracked.
But going back to the prices, Carthay Circle is going to be $99, but you can get lunch or dinner at Wine Country Trattoria. And lunch starts at $38 for adults, and dinner starts at $49 for adults. And looks like both will have full service 3-course lunch or dinner prefix menu. So
Nice.
and you get the and also the Paint the Night reserve viewing area, which where's that going to be? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's the question on everybody's mind, I think.
Yeah. Let me ask you 2 questions. Where do you think this one's going to be, and where would you prefer to see it?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one.
Have they ever had reserved seating for a parade in DCA before?
I don't think so.
Not that I've ever seen.
Because I don't think they have. So there's no precedent. But I would assume somewhere along where the trattoria is, like around Blue Sky Cellar, like in that curve of the bend, that kind of seems to me where they might have it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So okay, so here, let's go down the parade route. If this is anything, I mean, Mac has some crazy tight turns that he has to take, right? Mac and possibly the new Incredibles float are going to be the hardest ones to maneuver through there, at least judging by what the concept art looks like. So if it follows the same parade route, we're looking to exit right in front of Mission Breakout. It's going to hang a right onto Hollywoodland, close to the where the theater is. It's going to hang a left and go straight down the street in front of the Animation Academy. It's going to shoot out of Hollywoodland onto Buena Vista Street. It's going to go around the fountain. No, it comes in front of the fountain between Carthay and the fountain, right? And then it veers to the left into right in front of Grizzly Peak. It follows the path, and right as it's getting towards Cars Land and Pacific Wharf, it veers to the right and goes in front of Ariel's Undersea Adventure. It follows that entire tract all the way down to where all the restaurants are. And then it goes slightly to the left and ends up behind where the roller coaster is. So if it follows the same path, where along that area do you guys think, again, where do you think they're going to put the reserved seating? And where do you think the best place to watch the parade is going to be?
I would like to see it as in front of the fountains facing Carthay. So I'm either facing the entrance to Hollywood or by Grizzly Peak. What I think is going to be, it's going to probably be where guest relations maybe is. Because I'm trying to think where would they put all those chairs.
I would say in that little like divot right in front of the waterfall.
Waterfall?
Yeah, as you're entering in front of Grizzly Peak, there's like a little area where PhotoPass is.
I didn't think about that.
Like, that's a decent enough area where you can jam, like, 15 chairs easily.
That'd be cool if they had, like, bleachers to sit down for all these people. I mean, considering both restaurants, it's going to be in front of Ariel, like, opposite across where World of Color is right now.
Yeah.
Because that's where they have the VIP areas for World of Color.
Yeah.
You know? So maybe they're going to be colored sections, like, oh, yellow, blue, green, you know, for the different restaurants.
Right.
Like, how does it work for Fantasmic? Because you've done it, Heyzen, right?
Yeah.
The food ones?
It's set up with colors, just like the World of Color food packages. So as soon as you buy the food, you know, depending on the restaurant that you buy it in, they'll assign you and they'll tell you, okay, go find this sign. This is about the area that you're going to enter. And then they tell you from here to here is yellow area. From here to here is blue. And as long as you have your receipt from that restaurant showing that you purchased a dining package, you can take your food and you can sit there. For Fantasmic, it's different, though, because it was all floor seating. There was no chairs. There was nothing like that. It was kind of brutal to sit there. And for me, I sat right in front of a pole, which was awesome. But
But I heard if you dined with Blue Bayou or any of the higher end restaurants, they give you a seat cushion, don't they?
That was for a limited time. I don't think they still
it's not all
have
the
that
time.
anymore. Yeah.
Okay.
There are chairs if you dine at Blue Bayou and one of the other restaurants. I forgot which one it was. But the second deck, not the one where normally you see the jazz players, but the middle deck is where they put all those chairs. So the bottom deck is all like floor seating, and then they have the middle deck that has some chairs, and then the upper deck is where they have everybody walking back and forth. So, I mean, they could put chairs for Paint the Night, like I said, in front of Grizzly Peak. Like you said, VJ, the entire area in front of World of Color. It's just strange because there's the flow of California Adventure is so much more dynamic than it is at Disneyland, especially when it comes to a parade route. There aren't a lot of ways out of certain areas if you block them, and I think that's the biggest challenge they're going to face.
Yeah, because if you put chairs where information booth is, or the information board is, near the fountain, then where are people going to go? Because the parade's already going to be cutting off that one side of the road.
Yeah.
They're going around that mountain.
Yep.
There's going to be a viewing deck on top of, in the Grizzly Peak's mouth.
and the other chairs will be right in between Ariel's Undersea Adventure and that shop. So once you get there, you're stuck till the end of the parade.
Yep, you just got to get wet.
Or how about if they put bleachers where Hyperion Theater is, where that wall, the cloud wall?
Right around there, there's a little diagonal area where it's a standby to watch the parade, where Pixar Play Parade would go through. I could already see that part being, blocked off for like, for those who are doing dining or reserved.
Wait, are you talking about the area right in front of the Animation Academy, or the one where they queue up where the big
Other
Silly
side of the
Symphony
street.
sign is?
No, if you were to pass Animation Building towards the end, and you see the big old the cloud wall,
Right.
before you make that left, before you go to for the restrooms, there's that little space right there in that street where they block it off.
Got it.
Past the fruit stand.
Okay. Because I thought you were talking about the opposite side where they queue up for Frozen, because that's a huge area where you can put a bunch of chairs or even bleachers, like VJ was saying. Right in front of the wall where that big Silly Symphony sign is. That's a massive area where you could fit a good couple bleachers, where if you had to wheel them out, it wouldn't be a lot of work to wheel them backstage after. Everywhere else, I think, would be a real big challenge to wheel out bleachers. How about by all the restaurants and out by where the Silly Symphony swings are? I don't recall there being a lot of open area there where you can put chairs or any type of seating. Do you guys recall if there's anything around there?
You mean where the seating areas for Paradise Garden Grill?
Yeah, is there
Like
anything else where you can set up where...
No, because I think it kind of slopes down when you start going into the seating areas. So I don't think there's too much of a
Unless they
view.
move the benches from where Silly Symphony Swings is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, around the bottom area there.
I'm just wondering if it's going to be Paint the Night, then World of Color, then Paint the Night again, how traffic flow is going to be,
Yeah.
Because if they have to wheel out these bleachers, I'm assuming it's going to stay there until the second show, right?
Right.
That's if they
Yeah.
did bleachers, so...
Which I doubt they
would
will,
agree.
by the way. I know
Yeah,
where...
I don't think they will, but that'd be cool if they did it, because then for $99 you get a seated area and food.
And
great
elevated and everything. Yeah. I mean, honestly,
And
I would
nothing in your
prefer
way.
like that stadium seating with bleachers as opposed to just having rows of chairs, because I think you get a much better view of the stuff happening
Yeah.
in front of you. I mean, think about it. Just standing, watching Paint the Night on Main Street, if you were two people back, you missed things like lightning coming by, right? Because he's so close to the ground. Just setting it up along DCA, you run into the same issues, really.
I'm just gonna be watching from whatever Mickey's Fun Wheel. Is it gonna be Mickey's Fun Wheel still? Since
Yes.
he's technically still on there.
The
I'm just gonna
Luxo Ball
watch from
Fun
there.
Wheel.
Take all the aerial pictures from there.
What's the name gonna be?
The Luxo Fun Wheel.
There you go.
Buzz Lightyear's Star Command.
It's gonna
wheel.
be a lots of fun wheel.
A Lotso Fun Wheel.
Oh, that's a good one.
But it had a name.
I like
had
it.
a name on all the walls where it showed
Oh, really?
The artist
Concept?
render.
where it showed the concept artwork. It had a name above it. It didn't say Mickey's Fun Wheel anymore. It said something else. I don't remember. Do you take pictures of them?
Mm-mm.
Who knows if they end up going with that, but it didn't
Yeah.
say Mickey's Fun Wheel anymore, so I'm not sure what it's going to be called.
I still like lots of fun wheels.
Yeah, Lotso Fun Wheel.
That's a good one.
All right. Well, if you guys have any ideas of where you guys think the seating is going to happen, drop us a note on the blog post, Instagram, or Vero post for this episode. Or if you have any ideas of, where you would like to see it from, leave us a note. We'd love to hear what you guys think. Hey, speaking of DCA, did you guys see that Black Panther is now available?
Yeah.
Yep.
I want to meet him.
Have you guys gone to meet
He
King
looks so
T'Challa?
cool too.
VJ went with
I
me.
have. I
How
met
was
him
it?
on Thursday.
Nuh-uh.
I was more afraid of the girls, to be honest.
They're BA.
They look
were-
awesome.
Because we were, me and our friend Jonathan, we were waiting in line, and I waited like a good hour, 15 minutes to meet him. And it's still kind of weird that he jumps on on Black Widow's Jeep or whatever it is. I'm like,
Yeah, get your own car, man.
So he leaves every hour or so, and when he leaves, he gets onto that Jeep or whatever, the Avenger Hummer, whatever that thing is.
Stands on it?
He stands on it where like Black Widow would stand, and then he would go all the way back there, leave, and then come back like 40 minutes later.
Well, it makes sense because if he were to walk alone, he would never make it backstage.
Yeah, that's I guess. But he has the girls defending him.
The Dora Milaje.
Still, I don't think
The Dora
yeah,
Milaje.
yeah.
everyone would want to take pictures with the king.
Look, he's got
Oh,
claws,
and-
okay? He can scratch people.
And if you ever are going to do that pose where you basically put your arms across your chest, it's right over left. Don't make that mistake. I watched somebody do
Ooh.
that, and they didn't yell at him, but I was a little scared. I'm all right over left, right over left, right over
Really?
left. So yeah, so if you're gonna
That's
do
cool.
this, it's right over left.
Got it.
I'm a little
But
jealous.
it's a cool.
I gotta tell you guys, he is the first character that I'm actually interested in lining up to meet. I've never wanted to do that before, but I want to meet that guy so bad. He was the coolest.
And if you met him, Gavin, considering you're going to stand in this 7-hour line to meet him, what are you going to say to the king?
Oh gosh, I have no idea. I'll probably just stammer.
Fangirl. Aw.
I'll be.
You know, it's funny. A lot of people do though. A lot of people
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, I'm
And-
sure those people have to be really good at reacting and improving.
What do you
Yeah,
mean?
it's impressive.
What do you mean, those people? It's a
You know,
king.
him. Well, him. Yes, you're right.
T'Challa.
You're right.
It's a
I'm
dog.
sure he has to be adept at meeting with his subjects.
Our friend Jonathan's son was dressed up as Poe from Star Wars. And he was talking to him like, "Oh, are you from, where are you from?" And then Mana was saying, "Oh, I'm from Star Wars, and I'm a fighter pilot, and this, and that." And he was saying, "Oh, maybe we could use that technology in Wakanda." I was like, "Wow, that was dope. That was
Nice.
cool."
Now,
That is
and I-
cool.
does he speak in
I
an
know.
accent?
Yeah.
Oh, he
has
does
a-
speak in the accent?
He had an accent.
Oh my god, I love it.
Wow.
T'Challa.
Yeah, it's really T'Challa.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Heyzen.
because
He's not from Oakland, dude.
Because side note, when I first heard Chadwick Boseman speak, it threw me for a loop when I heard him without his accent.
Wow.
Like he has become T'Challa to me. So when I heard him without his
Yeah.
accent, I was like, "What's wrong with you?"
I know when I mentioned, I think in a couple podcasts before, where I was kind of disappointed that you were able to see his eyes. I don't know if you remember me saying that. And I thought it was going to be better if he looked like Spider-Man, where his eyes were covered. But in the movie, his eyes go gray, or you could see his eyes. So it's just like the movie.
So let me ask you regarding that, because I got a bombshell for you guys, okay? You guys know that I generally go watch me the movies when they're available on the Redbox for $1.50. But less than 14 days, less than 14 days after the release of this film, I watched it.
What?
Get out.
I watched it earlier today.
Who dragged you?
Huh?
Who dragged you over there?
Nobody. So I just want to say thank you to my wife who hooked me up. One, she stayed home with the boys. We couldn't find a babysitter. And the boys are not going to sit for 2 hours through a film, right? We have enough trouble getting them to sit for 2 minutes, nonetheless 2 hours. So she took one for the team, and she said, you go watch the movie, that way you guys can talk about it. And she stayed home with the kids. Love you, baby. And I have so many thoughts. I want to talk about this film, but I don't remember his eyes changing like that. I remember the mask being complete the whole time. I don't know if I just wasn't paying attention to it.
I was, because I was like, I was disappointed when I saw the pictures first come out with his, meet and greet in DCA. So I don't remember exactly where in the movie, but I know it happens. So that's where I was like, oh, okay. I don't feel so bad now.
I gotta go watch it again. Oh, no.
Oh, speaking of the meet and greet, right now he's only at DCA and not at Walt Disney World. Is that correct? Is anybody... I've only seen him at DCA.
As far as I know,
on the cruise line.
I think he's one of those rights issues. Like East Coast has rights to certain things and West Coast has rights to other things. And I think he's one of those. I'll have to verify that. But I've only seen stuff listed about DCA too.
But he is on the cruise line.
Yeah, he's at the cruise line. I've seen him there.
It's international waters, man.
That's true.
Side note to the cruise line. I have a coworker whose husband was on the cruise when Black Panther came out, and they do screenings for them. So if like a Disney or Marvel movie comes out, they get to see it on the ship.
Wow.
No way.
That's dope.
I didn't know
That's
that.
awesome.
And then you get to meet Black Panther after?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I love that.
That is great.
Event.
Oh, wow.
That's great.
Eventually, I think it would be
Black
great.
Panther 2, Podketeers cruise. Let's do it.
I was about to say that. I was like, you know what? At some point, we need to do like a Podketeers cruise, because it would be rad.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm for it.
You're saying a cruise altogether?
Of course.
Because I know we're going to go.
No, I mean all together.
One of these days we're going.
I mean all together.
Okay. You heard it here, folks. Heyzen's going to get on a boat.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with a boat.
And a plane to get to the boat.
No. Train.
Oh, here we go
Train
again.
to get to the boat.
We'll see you on the island.
We'll give you a week's head start, and then you can meet us there.
Wait, don't any of them leave from California?
No,
The
we
good
want to
ones
take the one
don't.
from Florida,
We
dude.
want to go to Castaway Key.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've seen
okay.
pictures.
It's like, yeah, the good
I
ones
gotcha.
don't.
gotcha.
I wouldn't mind going to the Alaska cruise, though, with Disney.
That would be really cool.
No? You don't like
Have fun.
Gavin's
Nope.
like, it's already cold
Nope.
here. I'm good.
Exactly.
So, Black Panther. You guys have seen it? Who has not? Who are saying here?
I have not.
Gavin saw it.
Gavin saw it. Okay. Melissa
seen
has
it.
not. I know I blew everybody's minds by saying that I've actually seen this movie before it's in the Redbox. And initial thoughts, guys.
Gavin, you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. My initial thoughts are my mind is blown. I did not know anything about Black Panther going into the film, and I was just in awe for the entirety of the film. It was exciting. It was thrilling. The story was engaging and very cool and unique. and it had an amazing message to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I now have a favorite Marvel movie, a new favorite superhero. This movie is incredible. Loved it.
Awesome. VJ?
I'm going to have to agree with him on every level. Everything from character development to, I love the way the characters all arced differently, but they all came together. And the message is really good in this movie. It's probably my favorite Marvel movie to date. And I've seen all of them. And that's probably my favorite. Everything about it. I mean, yeah, it didn't have as many action scenes as, say, Civil War or any of those movies, but when they did have an action scene, it was done like I couldn't imagine it done any better than what was done right now. So I want to see it again. I want to see it a third time. So, and when we start talking about the villain in this movie, Eric Killmonger, man, favorite villain.
So good.
AJ, what about you?
I really enjoyed the movie. It gets me so excited for the new Infinity Wars coming out, and you really get to see. Try not to spoil anything. It's hard.
I know.
You get to understand who Black Panther is and what he represents. And this movie was a lot of world building, I think, as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get to see Wakanda and its people and, again, what they stand for. So I really enjoyed the movie, loved the meaning behind it, the music. It all just meshed really well together for me.
Yeah. I will agree with all three of you. I think that the character development was some of the best that they've ever done for any of the MCU films. It's hard for me to say that this is my favorite movie. I know that you guys just kind of stepped it up and said this is. Honestly, it's hard for me to step away from Iron Man because Iron Man is my favorite MCU character. And I think with him getting the ball rolling, I think one of the biggest problems that the MCU had was all of the films followed this pattern of how Iron Man set the standard for the films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And one of the biggest issues that they had was they did not have villains available. So they had very limited resources because a lot of those villains were owned by other studios. So they didn't have a lot of options, which is part of the reason why some of the stories changed so much from what people recognized in the comic books. Eric Killmonger is one of the best written characters, bar none, in the entire MCU.
Yeah.
Not his backstory and how it feeds into the story of the Black Panthers, like just the entirety of Wakanda. It's strange because when you think of how these villains act in other films, they're all doing it for some kind of greedy purpose, and they're doing it because they're very self-involved and they want something for themselves. And in a way, that was kind of what was happening with Killmonger, but he was doing it because there is this sense of the real world in this film. Like, this film broke the fourth wall into the world in a way that no other MCU film has done before. Everything else, like, oh, you know, in New York they did this, in New York they did that. Yeah, that's true, but it never felt as real as it did as watching Black Panther. The politicalness aside, I think because of some of the things that people have dealt with for years, still deal with now, not just on the level of race, but right now with everything that's happening, you know, with women in Hollywood, I think this was just a step up. And if every MCU film uses this as the platform to just elevate how they make these films, bravo, Marvel, because this, I'm not going to say it's my favorite, again, because I'm a huge Iron Man fan, but, I mean, it's given Iron Man a run for its money for my favorite.
Yeah, on that same level, I think it kind of reminds me of Coco, because whether or not most people feel like Coco is their favorite Pixar movie. I think a lot of people now agree that Coco might be Pixar's most important and maybe even best movie. And I think this is kind of the same. I'm hearing the same types of discussion about Black Panther, where it may not be everybody's very favorite MCU movie, but in many ways it might be their best and their most important. And I think it's just incredible, and I would encourage anybody who can get to the movies to go see it, regardless of being a superhero fan or a comic book fan, because I really am not. I don't watch all of the Marvel movies, and I don't read a lot of comics, but this movie had me on the edge of my seat the entire time. I loved it.
Yeah. And, you know, one of the most interesting things that Marvel did with this film was something unlike I've ever seen before with the release of anything else. You know, normally we get featurettes about deleted scenes, we get some featurettes about characters, but never to the extent that they did with Black Panther. Like, Marvel, in the last few weeks, released a video of Black Panther's family tree, like the royal family tree. It was an awesome video that spans all the way back to the original Black Panther. And it goes through T'Challa's entire lineage, how his mother passed away, how, I mean, a lot of that isn't really in the film, so I'm not really spoiling anything, but it was an amazing video that they posted on the Marvel YouTube channel. They also did The Warriors of Wakanda, and that was a featurette talking about all the women and all the warriors, you know, that protect Wakanda and protect T'Challa. And I just thought that was beautifully done as well. So they spent a lot of time not only introducing you to these characters in the film, which, by the way, sometimes I feel that they introduce characters either with or without a storyline, but they feel like they were just kind of added and they were forced into the script. Nothing in this film to me felt like it was forced in. Like, everything was just so smoothly written and so smoothly executed that it is quite possibly one of... I don't even know what to say about it. It was just so beautifully done.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think everything was done with great intention and executed very seamlessly and smoothly. I think on every level. I think the pacing, the storytelling, even the twists and turns of the plot and the small elements of mystery that were involved, they all played out so great. And yeah, it just came off without a hitch. And I have never heard so many people immediately after a movie say they cannot wait for the second movie. Like, it just leaves you wanting more. And you know, for a movie to do that, that's exactly what you want to do with a movie. You want people to walk out and immediately want more of the same. Yeah. And they killed it. So good.
And, you know, there's a lot of films that when people say, oh, yeah, it was great, I sometimes feel like people say that because of the hype behind the film. I don't have that sense with this one. Like, I feel that people that are saying, yeah, it was great, yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one, they wholeheartedly mean that because of how great the film is.
I don't know what you guys experienced in your theaters, but I also thought it was really cool that in the theater I was in, it was a really diverse audience. And I feel like a lot of times in, especially like superhero movies, you don't necessarily get that. So I thought that was pretty cool too. You know, I just saw all types of people and all ages. Like, I saw the entire spectrum of age range in my theater, which I really don't feel like you see that in superhero movies, you know, especially the older age brackets. You just don't see that as much. And I felt like it was incredibly diverse, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah. You know, when I walked in when the lights were already dim, when the previews had already started. But I saw it really early in the morning, and even then, the theater was full. I saw my film before noon, and the theater was completely full.
Yeah. My theater, I saw it on a Thursday night during a winter storm at the mall when half of the stores in the mall were actually closed due to inclement weather.
Oh, wow.
And the theater, there was not an empty seat in that theater.
Wait,
So-
but was there a heater there?
Nope. No,
Oh,
I mean,
so
they
they
didn't
didn't-
have heated seats.
Oh, but they had
Yeah.
the heat turned on, right?
Yeah, it probably did, yeah.
Maybe that had something to do with it. I mean,
They were all there to warm up. Yeah, Michael B. Jordan was there. Nice.
yeah. Who was the director again?
Ryan Coogler.
Ryan Coogler. So this is Ryan Coogler's third
Third.
movie
Yeah.
with Michael B. Jordan, right?
Mhm.
And the other two films I have not seen before, but now I want to see them because
They're so good.
That's what everybody keeps telling me, that he's like 3 for 3 with this director.
I haven't seen any of his other films.
You didn't watch Creed?
No, not yet. It's
Yeah,
it's
we
on our
watched it.
7list, but I haven't seen it yet.
Fruitvale Station is good too. I mean, I saw it because it's the Bay Area, but I mean, that's exactly how it is when you ride Bart's train, the Bart. But yeah, he smashed this one. It was so good. The cool thing was, even Kevin Feige was, when he did the screening and watched this, he's like, I think this is probably our best film. This is
Really?
Yeah, he said that in an interview. I was watching a bunch of the interviews on YouTube with the whole cast and everything, and he said that. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Out of all the MCU, but I mean, it's true. Like everything it covers, from character developments, and even like, you know how Black Widow, when we see her, we're like, oh, she's badass, but to me, you're like, okay, she's still a girl, you know. But with this movie, and you see all the girls here, you don't, like, everybody's on the same playing field. Like, everybody's even. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense, what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like Black Widow's limited to some stuff because everybody she's with has all these superpowers, and she's, you know, an assassin. But everybody here, Black Panther, was like, dude, you could pick any of them. And to be on your team, and you have a stacked team already, you know?
I think one of the biggest changes in this film is that just really to elaborate on what you're saying, VJ, is that every other film concentrates on one character and everybody's just that supporting role, right? Mm-hmm. And even when they do have like the sidekick or something, they don't get that much attention. Like it's always centered around one character. And that's especially true for like Iron Man and Captain America and Thor. But this, like you said, everybody was on an even playing field almost. Like, it really showed the importance of how every single character plays a major role in making sure that T'Challa succeeds in, you know, in his role, you know, to protect Wakanda. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what I liked about the story, that it really showed the team aspect and dynamic, that it told people, you can succeed on your own, but you can succeed better and faster as one unit. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think that's what I really loved and appreciated about it.
To build on that too, like Wakanda felt like it was his own character as well. You know, with everybody's they were pulling for T'Challa, you know, but at the end of the day, it was all about Wakanda. You know, they had to do whatever it took to protect Wakanda, and whatever its best interest would be from now to the future. And that's what I enjoyed. I mean, they went from the past to the future to like what's best. Like, I just want to see it again. That's it.
Yeah. and I just want to ask you guys this question too, because I know we're saying a lot of stuff about T'Challa and, you know, the unit, but favorite character, bar none, Shuri. Right?
Yeah, that's a good character. It's tough to pick. It's tough to pick for me.
They're all really great.
Killmonger was my favorite. I'm sorry, like
I love Killmonger,
cool.
but I think the techie side of me just loves Shuri.
Yeah,
That was really
good character. Good character.
She had like all her quotes.
What are those?
Hey, babe, no spoiler.
I didn't hear anything.
Talking about?
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. I call them
people who haven't seen it.
People who
know
haven't
what I'm
seen it
talking
wouldn't
about.
know. Yeah.
Well, here's what I think we should do. I think we should have a side conversation that's completely spoilerful. And maybe we'll post it for our fairy godparents.
Yeah, because I
And that way
definitely have a
anybody
question for you,
seen
Heyzen.
it, huh?
And I definitely have a question for you, since you've seen the movie. Still
Okay.
cannot believe
Is it
that,
a spoiler? Is it a spoiler question that should be in the exclusive talk, or should we continue it here?
Well, you be the judge then. Since
Okay.
you've seen it, and Iron Man's your favorite, we all know
Okay.
Iron Man's your favorite.
Got it.
But with the technology that Tony Stark has done, from his father to him, we all know that he's a genius. But with Shuri, she's a genius as well. But because she had vibranium, is that one of the? I guess I'm trying to say is, who do you think has better tech, Tony or Shuri, if they both had vibranium to play with? Because I know vibranium exists for Tony because it's his new. Isn't it how he got? Isn't his reactor vibranium? I thought the new tech that he has in his what's his power thing? What's it called? The newest power he got.
Okay, so it does get into spoiler territory there. We've talked about the Model Prime armor before.
Okay.
That's what it's called. In Infinity War, he's got something called the Model Prime armor.
Nerd alert.
And
Nerd alert.
it's very possible. Oh man, this is going to get into spoiler territory. So here's what we're going to do. I am going to bench that conversation for the additional conversation where we get completely spoilerific with Black Panther. It is going to be available exclusively for our fairy godparents. So if you are not a fairy godparent, you can sign up for at least $1 a month. And that way you'll get access to our additional talk where we talk about Black Panther. And that way you don't have to worry whether or not you've seen it. We don't have to say spoiler alert, before we continue talking about it. And hopefully you'll continue supporting us after that. If you guys want more information, just head over to podketeers.com/FGP. There you'll see a listing of all of our current fairy godparents along with a link to sign up. If you sign up for at least a $5 donation monthly, you'll also get the exclusive fairy godparent button, which is pretty awesome if you ask me. Not made of vibranium, but still pretty awesome if you ask me. So we'll leave it there. And like I said, we'll just do the additional talk up on the Patreon. So with that said, I think we should wrap up this episode so we can get to this Black Panther talk. What do you guys think?
Let's do it.
Sure.
All right.
No
So-
rar from you, Gavin?
Oh, yeah, Gavin.
I don't give those out for free anymore, so they will be part of the
Oh,
exclusive
oh.
content.
Well, there you go. Well, there you go. If you want to hear Gavin Rar,
I'll buy
you gotta
that for
sign up to be a
$1.
fairy godparent. That's going to be people's ringtones. All right, guys. Well, before we wrap up, we do want to remind you guys that if you shop on Amazon, another great way to help us out, aside from becoming a fairy godparent, is by heading over to podketeers.com/Amazon before your next purchase. There you will find a big Amazon button that when you click it will take you over to Amazon using our special link, and anything that you purchase may earn us a small commission as a thank you from you and from Amazon. So to everybody that's already taken the time to do that, thank you very much for your support. We truly appreciate it. And if you guys want to follow us on any of the social networks, we are Podketeers. We're available on Instagram, Twitter, and on Facebook, and now on Vero. If you guys want any of our personal links, you can head over to podketeers.com, and up in the menu, you'll find the About section. You'll see a who we are, or about us, really. And you'll find a little bio on each one of us and all of our personal, like Instagram, Twitter, personal web pages, our shops on Etsy, all that good stuff. And anything else, guys, before we wrap up this episode?
One little thing. Happy birthday to Indy, because it turns 23 on the 3rd/4th. So I just wanted to shout that out. Yay.
Cool.
And I only remember because it's the same birthday as my mom's.
Yay! Well, happy birthday, Indiana Jones.
Yep.
I don't like the snakes on there, but then again, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So,
All
right, guys.
To be snakes.
I know, exactly, right? All right, guys, so that is going to be it for this episode. So until next week, here is to Beers, Cheers, and Mickey Ears. Have a fantastic week, everyone.
Wakanda forever.
Bye.
Wakanda Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever. Oh, and aloha.